Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Pokesoo channel and the Guitar Ladder system, which can be ordered on stevesguitars.com. Just scroll down, over 200 studies. You'll take a real quantum leap if you're serious about discovering your own unique musical point of view and broadening your improvisational skills, which is really the fertile soil of really taking a quantum leap. You need to broaden those improvisational skills to hear your own unique musical voice and your own unique musical ideas, and begin to discover ideas that are just floating around your subconscious mind like a dream right now. $1.99, over 200 studies, video and chart for each one. I do not send all at once. It's not effective that way. It really works, folks. If something resonates within you, you really want to take a big leap, I suggest you don't overthink it. Just invest in $1.99. It really works. Hey, this is the LH 700 I just got in yesterday. I want to talk a little bit about playing with weight. Now, I'm completely cold. I haven't touched a guitar at all today. As you can see, this guitar is really beautiful. It's got kind of a chevron flame on the back. It's all solid hand-carved wood, nitrocellulose finish. I think I've got it at $11.99 OBO on Reverb. You can buy. I'd rather, if you see it on Pokesoo, buy direct from me, so I don't have to pay the reverb fee, since you saw it on my Pokesoo channel. But I'm going to talk just a little bit about playing with weight, and I'm going to talk about that not warmed up. If you just play an acoustic archtop guitar and you just kind of, play it kind of softly, and you don't put much into it, it's not going to have much tone. But if you Now, playing with weight is very tricky to explain. Part of it, it's not just pushing harder with your muscles, but it's about kind of a transference of energy. You kind of want to think, the weight of your arm and your hand and your wrist kind of coming down, kind of moving that. Picture the energy and the weight of your arm and your hand kind of coming down into the strings. It's like when I play, I can kind of use my arm. I'm kind of moving my arm and visualizing and feeling the weight of my arm and my wrist coming down into the string. A good thing to do is do a lot of downstrokes too while you're learning about this, and then try to vary like 2 or 3 levels of volume, like play really soft, then like maybe medium, and then I'm actually kind of feeling when I play with more weight, I'm actually feeling this part of my arm here, because I'm kind of visualizing and thinking, the whole area of my arm and my hand, and there seems to be a lot of focus right in here, because I'm kind of, feeling like a transfer of that weight. So I'm playing a lot I'm kind of playing from my arm. This is really hard to explain, but you'll know when you start messing with it. I think you'll feel it. You'll start feeling this part of your arm in here, and you're kind of, almost like playing a piano. My mom used to be one of the greatest piano teachers in the world, classical, and with the piano, you're feeling that weight of your arm coming down into the keys to get more weight and more tone. Kind of the same thing with guitar, even though it's kind of sideways. Obviously the guitar is not like this, but still kind of visualize that weight of your arm, and especially this area here, the arm and the hand, that weight. Try to get a feel for it kind of coming down into the guitar. This 700 really sounds incredible. I just slightly lowered the action on it by adjusting these here, and it's got 12s on it right now. I usually prefer 11s, but this thing plays great. It sounds amazing. It really does have that sound that reminds me of a really, really good early 30s Gibson L5 meets like an Epiphone Deluxe from maybe the 40s or so. But anyway, yes, you can hear the difference. So like practice 3 different levels, like practice soft. And it doesn't really mean, you can do pseudo chromatics like this, doesn't really matter. Soft, medium, lot of weight and volume. Here's alternate. And hear how it makes the reverb of the guitar really come alive. You really bring out. And what happens is you'll find kind of in between areas of doing this. You'll learn to work with the weight and change it depending on the phrase, and it gets pretty interesting. But anyway, yeah, this 700, I think it's one of the best, probably one of the best couple I've ever had. It really sounds good. It looks like it's got just a little bit of a, I don't know, the finish looks a little slightly faded right there, and yeah, it's really, but this is really a tremendous guitar. It was barely played, but they don't all sound like this. It's not bullshit, you know. I don't think I've ever had a bad 700, but some of them just resonate a lot more than others and have more of a vintage kind of archtop Gibson Epiphone Deluxe kind of vibe, and with a little bit of Super 400 in there. This one's going to speak to somebody. Somebody's going to hear this tone. It's going to speak to them because it just sounds unbelievable. Really hard to let a guitar like this go. In fact, I don't know. I don't want to think about keeping it because it's hard for me to let stuff like this go. Now, when you start getting your technique going even more on single notes, there's a little thing where you take your right hand and kind of imagine this area here coming up a little bit. Watch players like Borelli Legrand. It's kind of a gypsy thing. You make this part of your hand go up just slightly. Gets a little more focus on the single notes. But yeah, work on weight. Like I said, work on 3 different levels of volume. Quiet. Do a lot of downstrokes too. Do down and up as well, but do a lot of down. So there's quiet, right? Medium. Don't let the simplicity of this fool you. This is really can produce some strong results. And then you know the louder. When you get to the playing with more weight, you actually help the note to bloom. And it's amazing how much you can bring out, even on a nylon string. I'm really into nylon string right now. But when you start learning to play with weight, like I said, now that's probably kind of more of the medium. It becomes an intuitive thing. Like, I'm not saying that every time you play with massive weight and massive volume. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is you develop some tools. By working 3 different levels of volume, you give your subconscious mind another set of tools to be expressive. Certain things you might play softer, certain things you might play medium, certain things you might play loud. Certain phrases you may combine all those elements to bring out the tone of the phrase. You may play part of it soft, part of it medium, part of it loud. Work with that and kind of think of it like a blooming flower. There's a lot to it, you know. But like I said, when you're first learning some of this, maybe do a lot of downs. I like to do this diminished riff. I've got it other places on my account. Then sometimes I'll come up a minor third. Maybe go to an arpeggio. A little augmented splash. Yeah, this is really a nice sounding 700. I think I got it at $11.99 OBO. There's a little wiggle, not a ton. I pay really good money for really good guitars. Part of what you get when you buy from me is my expertise on finding the great guitars. It's not bullshit. I really know guitars, folks. And a guitar I have to be excited about owning a guitar, or I don't buy it for myself or to resell. I'm not like a pawn shop where I just buy the cheapest stuff. I buy stuff that has the mojo and the magic. It's really true. Like I said, I'm not warm. Hear that ring? But yeah, this really has a sound. This is going to be a short video. Anyway, I've got 12s are on this guitar. I was almost going to change the strings, but you know, I don't know. the action was fine, but some people would, action, by the way, let me just briefly say, is very subjective. Some people like a little higher, some like medium, some like low. On a guitar like this, you don't want to get too low because you're going to lose tone, but this is very playable right now. And if somebody wants to have it a little lower, they just put some 11s on it, will lower it down even more or lower it here. But yeah, this guitar really has some serious tone. You can hear that, you can hear the bloom when you play with weight. Hear that bloom? And now right there I was kind of thinking, like I said, about the Baroli-Legrand gypsy approach of making this part of my hand just slightly come out. It's very subtle, but it tends to change the focus and put a little more energy into the pick. But yeah, you can hear this sound, this guitar. 13 flat 9, 4 chord, 13 flat 9, major 7, 7 sharp 5 sharp 9, 13, 13, 7 sharp 5 sharp 9, 13, 9, 13, 13 flat 9, resolved to a bichord. Anyway, yeah, I might put 11s on this guitar if I was going to keep it, just because I just like it a little bit easier to play. 12s are cool, but I like the difference is thousandths of an inch, but I don't think you lose that much more tone, So when you're doing all downstrokes, maybe just slightly visualize this part of your hand coming up just ever so slightly, even if you can't see it. To play with weight, try to imagine the whole area of your arm coming from here all the way here. Try to kind of get a feel for the weight of this whole area and kind of start the energy a little bit from here and try to get a feel. I know this probably sounds a little new agey, but there's something to it, folks. Try to imagine all this weight transferring down into the pick and into the strings. Kind of like I said, like a piano, it's a little easier to visualize and do because the weight of your, you're coming down like this, so the weight of your hands on your arm kind of naturally come down. With this, it's kind of sideways, but it's still valid. So like I can actually feel it in here, but I'm thinking all the weight of my arm and my wrist coming down with weight into it, and then begin to work on, like I said, those 3 different levels of playing: soft, medium, and loud. Don't take this exercise lightly. This can be a very powerful musical component of your playing. All right, folks, take care. If you want a great archtop jazz guitar, an archtop, pure, like an old L5 or old Epiphone Deluxe, so you don't want to spend, 10, 20, 30 grand, $11.99. This is a lot of guitar. It comes with a hard case. It's got kind of a chevron flame. It sounds amazing. I'm really going to miss this, but it's got to go to a good home. Hopefully it does. Really a beautiful guitar, and really has some, and it has not even been played an hour. All right, folks, it's probably a little out of tune, but anyway, you get the idea. Practice that 3 different levels: soft, medium, and loud. Do a lot of downstrokes on the loud. Folks, take care. I'm at 714-548-0385. My phone's kind of a piece of junk right now. So if you need to leave a voicemail, do. Or I like to be emailed, stevezook7@yahoo.com. STEVEZOOK, the number 7@yahoo.com. That's always a good idea. But yeah, this 700, it's all solid hand-carved wood, nitrocellulose finish. It really has a tone. I'd love to, whoever buys this guitar, whoever this guitar speaks to, I'd love to hear it in another 20, 30 hours. Like I said, it's not sales hype or bullshit. I'd love to keep this guitar because it really sings, but I can't keep every great guitar I get. So anyway, LH 700 really has a tone. All right, folks, take care. Let's all stay positive. Ciao.